Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Last of Us Grounded walkthrough. This is Pittsburgh, Chapter 4, Part 2. Did I mention that this level is probably the longest and hardest in the game? Some of you might be wondering why I think that, and it's this fight right now. So, I cannot help you here, guys. I really can't. This is literally the toughest checkpoint I had in the entire game, because there isn't one, and the spawns are an absolute travesty. How this works is that at the very beginning, there's 6 or 7 people here, and their path is identical every time. It's a divide and conquer endeavour, which is really fun and rewarding once you learn it, and it's great. I love it. I think it's a fantastic moment. However, when you take out the final person of this first group of enemies, the game goes batshit crazy and throws all convention out of the window and randomly spawns 7 more dudes. And when I say randomly, I mean randomly. They will spawn anywhere in this map. Literally anywhere. I've had people stood here, not even moving. 2 of them bang next to each other as if they'd just been dropped in without any animation or any AI on them. Just 2 dudes stood there, and across from me on the opposite side, 2 dudes stood there. It's so dumb what they've done with this part, because you've got to kill everything, you can't sneak it. And the last bunch of dudes spawn anywhere and then move around in alert mode, which on grounded mode means imagine 3 guys very close to each other constantly sweeping where you are. So what this means is you have to constantly be moving. You have to constantly be taking risks, and any one of those risks can end in abject failure immediately if it doesn't pay off and you get unlucky. And this is a 20-minute siege you're about to watch. A 20-minute fight that at any point, if you fuck up, you have to do from the beginning. And that's not the end of the random variables here either. Not only is it random in where the enemies are or what they do, but it's also random because Ellie's with you. So Ellie can be amazing. On the other hand, she can be utter shit. So there's no consistency whatsoever. And I was stuck here for about an hour and a half. And I think it was the hardest part of the game for me. Which is really funny because I was fearing the hunt. And I did the hunt really quickly on Grounded. On Survivor, that part's like kicked my ass. This part did it in 1 or 2 tries maybe. But not this time. This time really tested my will. And I had some amazing clips as well, but I wasn't capturing at the time because I got really frustrated and decided to just come up with some strategies that didn't involve, wasting 40 minutes of footage. Because at this moment in time, I do have quite a lot of stuff on my hard drive I need to delete and tidy up. I still have a terabyte free, but I'm the type of person that I like to keep my hard drive, close to like 80% empty. I don't know why, I just do. I'm just that person that likes to, when something's done, I want it gone. I've just always kind of been that way. But I pulled this guy over here to take him out. You can take these people out in any order because when I was practicing this, I had 4 different orders of taking dudes and they all worked equally as well. This is just the one that ended up having the successful victory on the end. But now I've took him, we're going to move all the way across the other side. And on the left here, there's going to be a dude patrolling through that building you can see near the bus. And then on the way out of that building, there's a guy who patrols back and forth. There's also a sniper up on the right. I don't know if you've spotted him. Sometimes it's best to get him out of the way first, because if anyone's going to see you here, it's going to be him. I also load all my weapons, just in case. But do you see him? This is our next target. He walks down those steps, goes to the left, giving you his back for a good few seconds, and then he comes all the way back into this room, and he walks to the left of the partition that we are next to now, to our right here. He goes to where those lifts are. So I'm going to wait just here for him to go to the left, then I'm going to sweep around and take him from behind. Like a gentleman. And also, if you have arrows on this part, if you have a decent amount of arrows, you can probably do the final phase really quickly. Because if you get good at moving around the map, you can also get good at waiting for those opportune moments to pick people off. And one thing that does work well, but I could never get to work perfectly, is the whole, here's a dead body, come and have a look at it so I can then chain kill you and the rest of your friends. And every single time I got about 3 or 4 fellas dead, and then the next person would take a wide berth, and he would always look where I was, so I would have to run to him, and when I ran to him and took him down, there was always another guy, because there's always another guy, and he would shoot me. So it didn't work so well. But whenever you have a decent distance from the enemies, you can feel free to stand up and run. It'll just take longer if you crouch everywhere. You know, my first 40 minutes of tries involved crouching everywhere because I was really super tentative, but you get to a point where you're just like, I just don't care. There's so many guys here, and this is the easy part. So there's one dude over this part. He's going to be going between the rooms on the lower floor here, and he's going to walk out of the door across there from the meat fridge all the way out into the open. And this takes a while for this to happen because I'm not quite on path to get this guy as effectively as I was some of the others, so I have to wait here for a little bit of a while. Some footage in the future, which is going to be quite tense, like this 20-minute espionage. Yeah, you can see how happy I am at waiting. Like, this is so much fun! I've only done this several other fucking times. Like, come on. But it's my fault, that, folks. I should have gone on a path where I came here and got him at a time where I wouldn't have to wait. But I was just mixing things up. It's just hard. It's really hard. And in future videos, when we have these big, intense moments where I have a lot of waiting, I'm probably going to speed them up. Because if I cut them out, people will probably be like, how come he was there so quickly? You'd be surprised at what people try and point out. It can be kind of crazy. Like, I got a comment on my Dark Souls 2 video of me no damaging the Sin boss, the dragon, saying, like, God, what the fuck did he say? The dumbest thing I've ever heard, like, oh, there's a bloodstain in the room, which means you obviously died against this boss and then learnt how to fight it and then recorded this. Like, you've pretty much just said how you play a video game. Like, what are you doing, man? Do you know how this works? Do you know how life works? People don't just go to foreign countries and pick up the goddamn language when they step off the plane. You know, you have to learn them. That's how this works. It's the same with everything. We learn from mistakes that were made, and then we succeed. Like, come on, dude. Like, what bizarre world does this man live in that people do things perfectly on the very first attempt? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, am I clairvoyant? Like, come on. It was the dumbest thing ever. And I get so many dumb comments. I truly do need a filter on YouTube. It would be so glorious just to have the ability to have YouTube work like Moobot on Twitch, where when somebody leaves something, I have a list of buzzwords for stupidity or phrases for just stupid people. If anybody leaves anything like that, the comment is immediately deleted, I'm not notified, and YouTube just goes, stop being a dumb bastard, because some people, man, unbelievable. But I used the bow there to take that guy out. I think he's the final one. And you might be wondering why I did that. Well, I was testing to see if a silent takedown on him would still spawn the enemies in. Because you know, if you go and you grab him from behind, you'll throw him down and stamp on his face almost every time. Because the game wants this to be, you know, an alert period. It wants you to be hunted. And that's exactly what's about to take place. But because the spawns are random, I don't know where they are. So I'm looking, I'm like, where are these guys? Where are they? Is anyone on the balcony? And I'm going to move back towards where Ellie is. The downside of me not having my presence known means that Ellie will not shoot. Ellie will only shoot when you're in hostile relations with the baddies. And right now I've managed to keep my cover. But you wouldn't think that, because the AI has this fantastic ability to seem to move in groups exactly where you are. And I don't know if that's just how Grounded works because of how they've tweaked the AI, but I never remember them being just this. I don't even know what it is. It's like some kind of portent. Or portent, sorry. You know, portentous precursor, like precognitive ability. It's amazing. They're a bunch of fucking Mystic Megs. Only they're not trying to fraud idiots. By making them believe if they rub their palms with silver, you're going to get something nice. It's going to cure your receding hairline. Because clearly those crystals she's given you that were probably made out of some animal's fossilized shit are obviously going to heal your ailing follicles. But we've isolated this guy, so we take him out. I immediately spin the camera to check see if anybody's remotely close, and then I shit my pants because he's there. Like, please don't see me, please don't see me. Carry on, carry on, carry on. Then I move over to here. So, my fear at this moment is I might be able to get 2 people here really quickly, but I have no idea where the others are. And I know, by experience, that they're really close to being where I am because they just have this fantastic ability to do that. So, I loop all the way around, take this guy as he loots his friend or checks his pulse or whatever's going on then, and I immediately do the same thing with the camera. You'll notice no one's here just yet, but don't ever trust it because they're about to be. They are always in a state of patrolling where you see him? That was a Molotov guy on his way into that room. So I come all the way over here, and boom, look at that! 2 guys cock-block that exit. 3 guys! Like, where were those fellas? So I throw a brick, to try and get this guy to look away. Both of them look away, and then there's the shit your pants moment. 10 to 1, if I walk now, they'll turn around, see me, and I'll be in trouble. But because I don't walk, they don't turn around. And it's that psychological mind game of, God, I need to walk, but I can't because I'm afraid. But I finally get past it, and they're really close now, so you're just kind of holding your breath, tucking your balls, pushing on. You can hear the noise that they're kind of onto you, they kind of see you, but they're not sure. And I'm just going to back up this way and make my way towards where we started. So what do we know? We know there's 2 fellas in that area. We know there was the 3 fellas in the other area. That's 5 more guys on top of the 2 that we've taken out. And that's on top of the dudes we took out at the beginning. It's so tricky. And I hope you like these circumstances. I hope the people coming to Grounded difficulty are looking for this, because if you're not, I can see people just giving up. Because I can't think of anything less fun than a second wave that is completely covered by luck and randomness. And I'm one of those type of gamers. I don't really play games for that, even though at some point you have to give yourself over to it. I'm the type of person that I like to be able to predict things. I like to be able to manipulate things. Because I think if you can use knowledge and ability to get your deserved outcome, then I think you're flying. I think that's kind of the point. Did you see that then? I paused it to show you how long has passed between the checkpoint and now. And I think it just said 12 minutes. So if I die, and it's more than easy to do, 12 minutes is wasted. But I'm going to throw the brick here, because what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get off this roof, probably. Or am I? Am I going to hit that guy with the bow? I'm going to bow him. See you later, bro. So somebody said something on a comment today that I have upgraded my arrows so that they don't break as much. And I may be mistaken here, but I don't even think that exists. There might be a book that you can pick up that might give you more durable arrows, but I definitely don't have it. And the upgrades for the bow involve the range, the draw speed, and I think that's it. Like, what else can you upgrade on the bow? I don't think you can upgrade the arrows, it's just luck. The arrows sometimes break, sometimes they don't. But they saw the body. The red guys are pyromancers. I don't know why I'm calling them pyromancers. They have Molotov cocktails. And I do too, and it looks like I'm looking to throw one. Which you can always tell when I'm in that desperation mode of I'm so close to doing it, and I just want it to be over. When I start pulling the guns out and pulling out the Molotovs and things. Because all of this is freestyled. You can't plan for this. It's improvised. And I wish it wasn't. And there are some people out there that probably love that fact. That are really, really digging the challenge of having, this intense bloody 20-minute excursion. Although, if you're using guns, it might be a little bit easier, but at the same time, the AI is a fantastic shot. And they can shoot you when you're in cover too. Like, if you try doing the tried and tested third-person shooter technique of edging around a corner and exploiting the camera to shoot people, the AI on this game can shoot you. It happened to me in Tommy's Dam, and I was a little bit annoyed. Because the dude literally could not see any part of me, and he still hit me. And there is not a traditional cover system in this game, so it makes me wonder how the hell I was intended to shoot him in that instance. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe it was the game telling me to do it a different way. Like this. No doubt there'll be somebody watching this and saying, you know, why didn't you just go and kill him? You know, try it. You have to play it to experience what this is like. And it might look boring, you know, you might not enjoy this method, but if you've played it, you know what it's like. You know that being aggressive here either works or gets you killed. And when you die at this point, there's nothing more frustrating. Like in 2014, can you think of a game that makes you replay 15 minutes worth of gameplay when you die? I really can't. The only games that come to mind are the Souls series, and that's essentially a mechanic at this point. It's a mechanic that people have seemed to have endeared towards, even though it's openly loathed by a lot of people, myself included. And I'll say to this day, me folks, if Dark Souls had save states, I would use them. And I would not bat a fucking eyelid to all the elitists that would look down on that, because the least fun part of any game for me is the run back. So this room up here has an arrow in it. I think I've already picked it up. I used this room a handful of times to kill people. Sometimes it worked really well. One of the times I killed about 7 people in here just using the desks to kite enemies and divide and conquer them. But you always get caught. In my experience, always ended up getting caught. So what I did here is, because I'd taken out a decent number of them, I moved back to this room because, as I've mentioned, the AI knows where you are. I don't care what anybody says. For some reason, the AI kind of passively just knows where you are. And what it makes me think of is, did you ever play that game with your brother or your sister or your sibling or your friend where you would hide something in a room and they would look for it and you would tell them if they were hot or cold? It's almost like the AI is constantly being fed that information on where you are. It's constantly being told that it's cold, it's getting warmer, and lo and behold, they magically turn up where you are. That is grounded difficulty in a nutshell. It's precognitive AI. But you can use it to your advantage, and that's what I'm going to do here. Because I know now that I'm in this room, it's only a matter of time until every other person alive is in this room. Speaking of, here's another guy. And this time it's a pyromancer fella. And he's just spotted the body. And I'm thinking, I can kill this fella now, or can I? Because there's another guy! So I just think, fuck it. Throw the Molotov, kill him. This could be the last person, this fella who's jumping in and out of the window. And there's another guy! And look how close they are to me. How did they all know I was in the room? The only thing you can say is it's the difficulties AI is just evil, I guess. So I now have 2 armoured dudes, which means if I did have the bow, it just wouldn't mean shit right now. He's just found a body. Or did he see me? He might have seen me, actually. And there's a guy jumping in and out of this place, making it a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. So you have to keep your cool at this point. But luckily enough, for me, I've already done this several times, so I'm pretty good at the whole office space cockblock maneuver. And I got lucky here too, because the Molotov killed the guy, and he dropped a Molotov. But there is the armoured guy on my left. Where's the guy on my right? Guy on my right is kind of jumping in and out. He starts moving to the right so I can flank him, and hopefully I can take him out without the other fella seeing. So we grab him, we choke him, we spin the camera, we pray. If the other guy sees us, we're failed. It's that simple. Other guy didn't see us, he died, now it's 1 guy left. As soon as we get rid of this fella, I believe we've done. 1 mistake here, fellas. 1 mistake and it's all over. Everything you've just seen, wasted. I would love to say that I think it is a legitimately challenging area, but I don't. I think it is a removal of a checkpoint and a door that should have been opened via stealth. But that's just me. And there we go. You cannot imagine the size of the sigh when Joel stood up and like mopped his brow.
Come on
Fuck
down.
me. So tricky that, so tricky. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you the best of luck in that sequence because no video is going to help you. It's just so random. You take care now.